All right, welcome back to the Knives Fast channel. Again, guys, we have a very cool knife that comes by way of White Mountain Knives. This is the Tuya Rackham Jack. Rackham Jack, Rackham Jack, I don't know how it's said, but we're gonna take a look at this beauty for sure. Now, right off the bat, you guys get a full view of this thing. This to me is ridiculously beautiful. Now, I want to thank the viewer, and I can't remember who it was. I was on a vertical live stream, and a viewer said, dude, go to White Mountain Knives and check out the Tuya Rackham Jack. And I'm like, okay. I go look at this thing, and I'm like, you know what? I'll go ahead and check it out. But it didn't really, like make bells ring or anything for me at the time. And so I picked one out. There are two versions. There's one with a more traditional clip point blade that has like a lower grind and a swedge. It doesn't have the nail nick, and there's the one with the nail nick. And what you're going to see in a moment is there's a reason I picked the nail nick. Stay tuned for that, okay? But this one is epic in a very classy way to me. You've got the Sagaiha pattern. By the way, I didn't even finish. But anyway, I got this from White Mountain because of that viewer, and that is really cool. Got the Sagaiha pattern back here and like almost like orange peel texture, but polished orange peel, which is really interesting. We got this polished titanium that's contoured, and then you've got a crazy milling pattern, and like, I don't know if that's orange peel or what it is, but it's beautiful. It is a frame lock with a lock bar insert. It is a titanium clip, and again, you do have a little bit sticking out of your pocket. It is not reversible, and for you lanyard guys, sorry, there's not one. But gorgeous looking, almost like spear point blade to me. Swedge up here, nail nick here, beautiful, wow, Casey, belt satin, Tuya logo there, and the logo of the designer. I will give you his name in a minute. I can't remember it, but he designed a slip joint that Tuya had a while back that I don't remember the name of, Blackbeard or something like that, I think. I really dug that slip joint. But really cool flipper tab. Now, the flipper tab sits back a little bit and has a really like finger hugging shape here, laid back. And it turns into almost like a light switch push button, if that makes any sense. Now, as a light switch, I think it snaps out more. As a push button, yeah, it still does pretty good. Very thin blade because we have a full flat grind. Nice thin stock because of that as well. I'm glad I picked this one over the other one because I think it's thinner. And when I say thinner, guys, this one loves to cut. I mean, it is a very nice cutter for sure. I dig that. Now I got the blade dirty, so let's clean that off. But really, really interesting knife. Beautiful in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? I would love to hear your thoughts on the looks of this knife. But again, we do have a full 4-finger grip, and let me just say, a great 4-finger grip. This feels really wonderful in the hand. You have jimping back here, so you can kind of do this if you'd like, but for me, I'm landing up here on this flat spot, which by the way is really almost close. It is chamfered a little bit. I wonder if you could strike a steel on that if you wanted to. But you are kind of locked in by the choil here and by the flipper tab with jimping, but it works really well for me, really well. The cutting grip is really nice. You do have a very good belly. Now, we are locked up at about 45 to 50%. We are dead centered. Again, fantastic detent. Now, what is the other method you're talking about? Now, we got a nail nick here. And so my favorite thing to do is to flick this off the nail nick. Guys, this is how, again, I can't do a lot of this right now because my finger's still healing. But if I own this knife, that is the way I would be opening this knife. It is so good. But the flipper tab works like a charm. They did a bang-up job in tuning the detent for 2 different methods. They did a great job. It is a very solid detent. Now, when we are locked up, no left to right, no up and down. Fantastic knife overall. I mean, it is just stunning in my opinion. Now, I get it. A lot of people have commented on my shorts, ew, it's ugly, I don't like it, whatever. You're wrong. You're allowed to be. By the way, titanium backspacer. Now, let me tell you guys what is the most cool and impressive thing about this knife. These are available, of course, at White Mountain Knives. By the way, it does come with this slip. If you want to just drop it in the pocket, comes with this really classy, I think, faux leather. It might be leather. I think it is leather, actually. Looking at that grain, I think it is leather. But really cool slip. Now, guys, these are $189. Doesn't matter which one. There's a jig tie version and a Sagaya version, and then there's the nail nick flat grind version, full flat grind version, or there is the Bowie with kind of a lower grind to it and more thickness up top. I'm going to give you the data on this one, but they are $189, and you can get 10% off of that with code KNIVESFAST. Are you kidding me? And it's in M390 and titanium with all these details. Belt satin, Sagaya pattern, beautiful finishing, and M390, and it's $190 minus 10% off. Now, it is designed by Andy Thiel. That's the designer I was referring to. 3.5 ounces, 8 inches overall with a 3-inch blade. And that does not sound right to me. Hang on, guys. As I'm reading that, none of that sounded right to me. I think it's a 7-inch knife. Now, okay. So it is 7 1/4. So those stats on White Mountain are not correct. It is 7 1/4. And it is a 3 1/4 inch blade with a little over, maybe more like a 3 1/8 inch cutting edge. You can see you have a very nice sharp plunge and a great lock relief there indeed. Now, thickness wise, this is going to be like 0.48 is what I would guess, something like that, and really well done. Now, as far as our normal comparisons, boy, you can tell it's contour because it just wobbles around. You have the Ontario Rat 1 and the Ontario Rat 2. And the Rat 2 is it's a little bit smaller, and the Rat 1 is a lot bigger. So what do you guys think of the Tuya knife Rackham Jack? I am so glad that viewer got my attention on this one, because it's probably not one I would have zeroed in on. It's just not. It's beautiful, it's cool, but it's just not one I would have originally. But now that I've had it, guys, this thing is great. This is one that you can show off, and it feels classy. It also feels almost like, something you could use, for show, for a gentleman's knife, whatever, but it also will do some work, for sure. I like that a lot. It feels very much like a capable knife, and I'm glad I got this version rather than the Bowie. Now, the Bowie, there's nothing wrong with the Bowie. If you like the Bowie version, I just like this one because it looks thinner to me, and it looks like it will be more of a cutter. I do like the jig tie, though. The jig tie option looks really, really cool as well. So please let me know down below what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, guys. Appreciate you very, very much, and thank you for watching the Knives Fast channel.